What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 2 for 2, your sports podcast for the culture, by the voice of the culture. I'm your host, Quis, and I'm here as always with my brother, Nell. And we back with another episode for y'all, man. Season 3, episode 45. Y'all know what we talking about. We're putting a bow on the NBA season, sending our congratulations to the Boston Celtics, and we hating on them a little bit, and then we're going to get up out of here. So sit back, enjoy it. Season 3, episode 45. Nell, how you doing today, my brother?
Dark times, but we move, right? We move. Boston Celtics won the championship, so
we got to live with this one for a little bit.
It's gonna be a rough summer, but look, you see the Sixers thing is back on the wall, so next year is our year.
Hey, it's time to get excited, right? It's time to think about officially what
right now.
Hey, free agency has opened up. Teams can re-sign their free agents. I don't know how many free agents y'all have to re-sign.
I'm waiting on PG and Clay.
Okay, well, Clay's with the Bahamas team working out right now, so
I'm glad he's getting ready.
Yeah, he's getting ready. Did you see that Bahamas team?
No.
No, they gonna be sorry, but they got Clay, Buddy Hield, DeAndre Ayton, and I think Eric Gordon.
A notification of that lineup came up on my phone.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like, why? I was like, when did Eric Gordon, Klay Thompson join that team? Like Buddy and DeAndre, like I always knew that, right? But like,
I didn't even know that.
Was Klay not like within the Team USA system for a little bit?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe the brother just want to play basketball. I don't know. So that was something I saw though, and I was like, I mean, hey, that's a good 4. You know, they get a point guard. You know, get 2 pieces. You know, maybe they can make a little run in the Olympics. We do have the Olympics coming up as well. But unfortunately, today is all about the Boston Celtics now. Gentlemen's sweep, right? Last time we came on here, we said by the time we got back on the pod that it would be the end of the season. We were correct. Now, we both thought it would be Friday night. We had an interesting game Friday night.
Thompson, he won. I thought I remember him. He won gold in 2014.
I was going to say, he definitely was with Team USA. I remember, I feel like he wore like 14 or something, some ugly number. I can't remember. Like, it was definitely, or like, I remembered that. So I was a little concerned when I seen him playing with the Bahamas now. But, I mean, to each his own. The brother wanted to play in the Olympics. He in a contract year. He's trying to make some money. It's a smart ploy. What I was saying, you know, we had game 3 on Friday night, lopsided victory for the Mavs. You know, it kind of felt like Boston was like, we want to win this one in Boston, so we'll go ahead and let you get this. You know, it kind of had that feeling, that vibe to it. Like, they knew they could drop one. And then, you know, we was talking before the game yesterday, and, you know, Tatum's like, we lose again, there's no big deal. And it's like, like, what are we talking about? Let's wrap this thing up. Let's wrap this thing up. But surely they did. Jayson Tatum with a near triple-double. Great performances all around. I think Jrue Holiday had a double-double, like 15, 11 boards. Al Horford played pretty well. Porzingis made his way back to the floor miraculously. Not sure how that happened. But, Nell, what were your overall thoughts, man, on the Boston championship, on the run? I know we talked a lot about how they didn't get tested. But, I mean, for a team to go out in the finals and, really all playoffs, all their wins were pretty much double-digit victories, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe all of them were, except for I think that one thing was game 2, was it when Luka fouled out? But yeah, man, what are you thinking? How we feeling about it? You know, Boston has won. The Boston Celtics they got another championship, man, and all the Celtics fans that I didn't know existed are back just chirping and having a good time. So how you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm kind of pissed about it. I just thought about it. That means Al Horford has a ring, and that means his sister, who's always talking shit on Twitter, that means I'm going to just make sure she stay blocked. But yeah, honestly, my takeaway was just like, it's one of the most boring finals I think I've ever seen. Like I was mentally just tapped out of it after game 3. Just not a lot of great moments. Like you said, most of the games were blowouts, except for that one game, and best player on the floor fouls out in the final 7 minutes of that game. You know, congrats to Boston. They've been the best team all year, and we're the last team standing. The moves in the offseason, bringing in Kristaps, I already thought that was kind of made them the favorite in the East. That was a big time move, making, having him be your third best player. And then the Bucks go out and get Dame, and, then Celtics go out and get Jrue Holiday. I mean, that pretty much solidified their backcourt, and he's made a ton of game-winning, game-changing plays in this postseason for them. So, got to give Danny Ainge a lot of credit for putting that team together. And they went out with all that talent. They went out there and they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they won the championship. So can't take that away from them. They'll always be remembered as champions, and banner 18 for Boston.
Banner 18, like you said. They did a lot of work in the offseason to position themselves for this moment. Every move they made was a championship move. I mean, what? Brad Stevens and those guys, Danny Ainge, all of those guys up there, they just smart play after smart play. What they got, they went from Marcus Smart.
I said Danny Ainge.
Yeah. It's Brad. Danny, he's up there doing something. They all
Utah.
They all in there. Now. They all in there. Brad Stevens going from head coach to GM.
Danny Ainge, because he finessed the Sixers and made us draft Marco Fultz, and he got Jayson Tatum, and I'll forever be, having nightmares about that.
I mean, that's what good GMs do, and that's what I was just about to say. I think what Stevens basically flipped. You get Marcus Smart, and you move him out. You come back with Chris Stapps. You get Drew Holiday in there. I think they traded. I can't remember exactly who they traded to get Derek White
and Brogdon.
They just bringing in Derek White. Bringing in all those guys, paying Peyton Pritchard when you did in the middle of the season. Locking him up for years to come, and we see how talented he is off the bench for them. I mean, overall, honestly, masterful front office work, and I have to give credit because I'm somebody that's very critical of a lot of front offices that just make bad moves, like doing things just because you can, spending money just because you have it, firing coaches,
Sounds like the 76ers.
I wasn't even thinking about y'all, but I mean that y'all do it as well, So, they moved on from Ime Udoka, who had kind of helped build this thing as well. You replace him with Joe Mazzulla. They stuck with Mazzulla through, people trying to make it seem like he wasn't qualified enough because he couldn't do it. Last year's run, they fought through everybody trying to blow it up because they lost. And this is the reward that you will reap. At the end. Granted, you get two back-to-back top 3 picks in Tatum and Brown, and you let them grow up and mature. But then you see the need around them, right? Marcus Smart was always a great defensive player. But was Marcus Smart the point guard that was going to take them over the top? We remember Marcus Smart a lot of times would try to go ahead and get in the middle of that Jaylen Brown, Tatum battle and start jacking and doing crazy stuff. You get him up out of there. You bring in a vet, Drew Holiday, who just impacted the game all over, right? And that's what it is. They put about a bunch of guys that impact winning on the floor around 2 studs, and this is what you get. They had leadership across the board. Multiple times just in the finals, you see they cut to Al Horford. He's talking, getting the guys going. You cut to Jaylen Brown. He's talking, getting the guys going. You got Tatum talking. You got, of course, Joe Mazzulla talking. So that's what you see. That's a championship formula. And so I got to give Boston their credit. As much as I hate to say it, and I will say that my Knicks at full strength were 1-0 against the Boston Celtics. And yeah, so we're going to see them next season. You saw Julius on the thing. Stephen A. tried to talk and say they could run it back and all that. And Julius said, hey, look, give them their credit. I'm still playing, so hopefully we can knock them boys off. Shout out to my all-star, Julius Randle, holding it down for us on there. But
shout out to my all-star Embiid on NBA Countdown doing a little.
Yeah, he had a little. I saw him and Paul George had a little moment. He tried. You know what I'm saying? Good.
Let's wait on
ESPN. ESPN knew the Sixers and the Knicks were the best series going, so he had to keep them guys on the ESPN and keep the countdown rolling. We talked about the chip, man. They won, but something that we talked about in our preview. We talked about the impact of this championship on Jayson Tatum's legacy. You kind of said it. There weren't a lot of wow moments in this series. There weren't a lot of, oh my God, this is great. Like, it just wasn't a lot. It was just, it was good basketball. One team was just whooping up on the other team, and then the Mavs made their run and vice versa. How does this impact Tatum's legacy? All right, I think you had the stats pulled up a little earlier. He had a near triple-double in the last game. He did a great job rebounding the ball, assisting. His assist numbers were way up. Scoring wasn't, I think he averaged about 23 or so.
22, 8 and 7.
Yeah, so, but he won. He went on, he had his moment. We did it. Everybody isn't really set for a good. Everybody's not capable of providing us a great like championship winning moment, right? And it looked like he didn't really know what to say, and that's okay. Jayson Tatum is like very well media trained, right? I think he did a lot of his talking with his commercial that debuted right after about what they're gonna say now. Great timing by Jordan Brand, whatever. But in your opinion, now, how did this championship did it move the needle? We talked about what needed to happen for it to move the needle, but now it hasn't happened. We watched the games, we've seen it. How are you feeling about Jayson Tatum?
I think it moves the needle because obviously when you're as accomplished, when you look at his resume, multiple All-Star, first team All NBAs, like he's accomplished. Adding a championship to your resume is definitely going to be moving the needle. Like my question would be, where is the needle start at? Like when we talk about Jayson Tatum, like, really good player, maybe a great player, sure. But like, where's the needle start at? Like, I saw some people having top 5 conversations, and I don't see it. I don't see it. He's in my top 10, but like, so where does that put him in all time
Yeah,
rankings? I don't know.
yeah.
As
Like
of right now,
did this move him
my
from
top
where
10.
he is?
He didn't
You said
blow
what?
like currently or like all time.
I'm saying like so like if we had our top 10 list at the beginning of the year. Let's say you had him at 8 after this season, championship and all. Like, did that move him from 8 to 6, 7? I don't my point is I don't think that I just don't know if it moved him.
Let's see. I don't know. I had to think about a whole new top 10, but like I say, he's still. I don't know if he'd be in my top 5. Giannis, Joker, Luca. It's kind of hard. In my heart of hearts, I feel like Embiid is a better player, but Tatum has all the postseason success that you need. So I don't know, but I'm still gonna take Embiid.
I mean, okay, so let's go a little deeper into this situation here. I said for this to really move him, in my opinion, he would have to be at worst the second best player in this series. Would we say that that was the case? The Finals MVP went to Jaylen Brown.
He was great on both ends.
He was.
He didn't have the scoring output that you would like to see from a number one guy of his caliber. It happens, but they still got the job done, which is all that matters. Right. But like you said, if you're just giving me what you would give me normally, you didn't really take your game to another level. And I mean, look, to the team's credit, like he didn't have to. Like you didn't need 28 to 35 from Tatum to win a championship. And I mean, that's when you look at most teams, like other than LeBron-led teams, like it usually isn't just one guy doing all the workload. Yeah. Giannis had a great series in the finals, but Middleton put up some good games. Obviously, they had Drew Holiday too. So you win a championship, you got a great nucleus around you, so you don't have to do much. 22 a game still, it's just not. It's not eye popping. He wasn't eye popping this series.
Yeah, he didn't shoot great in really any of the games. I think maybe Game 3 was probably his best game. I think he had 30 in that game. Even last night, it was more so, like you said, impacting on both ends, being able to, show your positional versatility. You can get the assists, you get the rebounds, and you make enough timely shots. I think that for me, I think he's stable where he is. I think he's a top 10 player, and I'm okay with leaving him right there for right now. I don't think we have to like you said. It wasn't like there was a moment in this where I was like, wow, this guy's just top 5. Like you said, I'm still probably like Embiid's a better player. I'm like, okay. I mean, granted, Luka got exposed for who he kind of is in terms of his overall game.
Jimmy's run last year had me like,
right.
Like Jokic. I was a Jokic hater, but he had that run. It's like, all right, I can't hate now. And he played spectacular. Curry has signature games. LeBron has signature games. Like all these greats, they have signature moments in games. I don't like what would be Tatum's signature moment in game this postseason. Like I honestly couldn't tell you. Like Jaylen Brown has game one where he, hit in the conference finals, he hit the shot to tie. And then game two, he goes off for 40. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you really what Tatum.
So let's talk about Jaylen Brown.
It's not to say Tatum hasn't had great games. He's had a couple, near 30-point triple doubles, and like I said, it's been great on both ends of the floor, but just not eye popping. Just not wow.
Yeah, and that was my thing, and that was what I said, right? I was like, he has to have a couple moments where I'm like, shoot, okay, like he's killing. Like I said, he made some timely buckets, but I think he's still, last game he was like what 8 of 21, something crazy. Like he didn't shoot great from the field. He just kind of was. Like his imprint was all over the game. Sure, like he impacted the game on both ends, but like you said, I think we just got to give him a pass just from the simple fact that his team was just so much better equipped. And all the possible things that he could have done, like Derek White is okay taking that big shot. Al Horford's okay taking that big shot. And then we like, oh my God, it's Al Horford again. Like,
and they weren't really tested to put him in multiple situations where he had to come back from. Like I can think about a couple years ago when they played the Bucks. He had like game six. He had like 46 on the road, like, things like that. Like he didn't have a moment like that this year.
Yeah, no. So his counterpart that got the Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown. How did this impact his legacy? Now this is a guy as well, right? He didn't get All NBA this year. He bounces back with the ECF Finals MVP and the Finals MVP. He's one of the richest men in the league as far as contracts go. He's a guy that is trying to jockey for a position as well in that top. Like I'm a top player in this league. Did this run tell you anything more about Jaylen Brown? Has he gained a little leg up in the race to his pursuit of being a top 10 player in this league? Or is it just like, hey, you're a good 1B, you're doing what you're doing?
As much as I don't like the guy, mainly because he plays for the Celtics, like he was hooping. Like I will say, like on both ends of the floor, you saw him accepting the challenge on defense against Luka, and a bunch of guys throughout this postseason. Offensively, he had some moments, came up clutch in a lot of big games, always aggressive. So yeah, like I definitely look at him differently as a player. Like before, when he didn't make All NBA third team, or any team, I was kind of like, like whatever. But now looking back at it, I'm just kind of like, he's probably one of the 15 best players in the league for sure.
Who are you taking off the list though? I think they got like, wasn't Sabonis on there somewhere?
Yeah, Sabonis was on there, so that's an easy one.
Let's take him off. Let's just take him off. I feel, I don't know what you was about to say, but I'm glad you didn't say. I thought you was about to talk crazy about that man in New York. See, you got me riled up. See, I'm gonna let you be.
Hey, chill out, man. Like I'm not even on that.
I gotta be on guard with you now. I never know. I gotta be on guard. Anytime a shot can fly, man. No, I feel the same way. Jaylen Brown. Yeah, you're right. We got a little break. We got a break in the action. We can kind of chill and be cool for a bit. But Jaylen Brown, he earned a lot of respect from me. I always really liked him. I liked his game. I told y'all, I used to joke with my friend Rob. I'm like, hey, Jaylen Brown's the best player on your team. Like I used to joke with him about that. He couldn't stand it, but I'm like, in my opinion, sometimes I watch and I'm like, I feel like he played a little bit better.
Only reason I just think Tatum is the much better creator.
His overall impact.
Yeah. Playmaking.
Yeah. Jaylen Brown has a tendency to go into like these like moments where he's like tunneled in and he's just doing stuff and you like, yo, okay, like like let's chill out. But then he'll come back and he'll dunk on somebody and you like, that was kind of crazy. But yeah, I feel like Jaylen Brown, I agree with you. I think he's one of the top 15 players in the league easily. I think he has that talent, has the capability. He's always been good. He's my age. Following him from high school. Seeing him go play at Cal. Go on to be drafted in the league. Like he's just always kind of really.
Yeah, Ivan Rabb is my cousin.
Really?
Never met him, but that's my cousin. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought that Kyle team was going to be a lot better than they were.
Me too.
They all kind of flopped.
I was a big Jaylen guy just because of that. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just sick
Nah.
back to back years. They
Hey,
took two players that I liked.
Literally one of my best friends played against him in AAU, and he's just like, this might be the best basketball player I've ever played against in my life. Like national TV 30 balled him, but
Crazy.
it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, so shout out to Jaylen Brown. Shout out to the Celtics. We got to give him a little bit of credit. But on the flip side, we got to talk about the Dallas Mavericks just a little bit now. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter like, oh, they have a young core. Luka's 20, Derrick Jones is 24, even though he's a free agent coming up. Jaden Hardy's 21, Gafford's 26, 20 something, just going on and on. And people are saying that they're going to be back. I personally do not see it. After this game, my biggest takeaway, and it kind of sucks. I feel like it's everybody's takeaway, right? Like we're still talking about Luka a lot more than we talking about Boston, even after Boston won. And I was saying, I feel like this offseason is going to tell me a lot more about Luka than it will about anybody else in the NBA, right? We always see Luka go home over the summer. He come back all slim, good shape, looks great. And then by the time we get halfway through the season, he got his James Harden fat suit back on, and we like, what's going on? And I think if Dallas wants to actually have a chance to come back out of the West, it's going to start and end with that man, Luka Doncic. It's going to have to be a full-blown mental rediscovery, who he is as a player, right? You're 25 now. You've been in the league a couple years. We're not giving you the same grace no more. You've been there. Now you're on the hot seat, right? You're one of the top 3 to 5 best players in the NBA. But what you showed us from a basketball perspective, from a purist, I just love watching the game. Like it was pretty disrespectful to the Mavericks. It was pretty disrespectful to the game. I mean, I'm just gonna call it how it is. There's been superstars in the past who don't play a lick of defense, right, and all of that, and we judge them accordingly. Walt was saying it. We got
compilation videos they used to make of James Harden.
Hey, he still ain't beating them. He still ain't beating the allegations. You know what I mean? I think now he's like the longest running superstar without a chip or something crazy. I saw that before we got on. But yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the mental side. Like, Luka, can you accept the challenge of like, I don't have to be the best defender, but I have to do something to help my team on both ends of the floor to be able to impact the game outside of just rebounding. Right, a lot of people consider defensive rebounding a part of like defense, and like yes, you have to, and you can't get a stop without a rebound. But like Luka kind of just be chilling in the background, and the ball goes up, and here he comes, and he pushing the pace and doing his thing. Physically, his body, like we cannot continue to repeat the same thing. And this is a professional basketball player. I couldn't do what Luka Doncic does if I tried, and I that's why I don't play basketball no more. I guess this is not what I do. But from a pro, like for a pro, you got the Dallas fans where they've seen that they've got a taste of that championship. You got to get us back there, and that's going to require you to be able to last. I know he was banged up, he was hurt, the rib, the knee, and I give him credit for all that. Playing through that, that's tough, But I think we can all say when we look at the games, when we look at Dallas's shortcomings, it's not simply the fact that Boston was much better, because I mean, yes, that's the truth, but the flip of that is your best player limited your team's potential. Now, the only way that they can actually come back, I think, without Luka doing any one of those two things, is it's going to force Dallas's hand to say, look, we have to go out and get guys now and overpay for guys now that are going to cover up our superstars' deficiencies. And I think that's when a lot of franchises get in trouble, i.e. the Lakers, right? They trying to go build the team around LeBron to be LeBron's standard to make up for, he's older, this, that, and the third. Like, we need this, we need that. And then you paying a bunch of guys and you flaming out. And it's like, hey, it's still not working. So Dallas is in that tough spot. I don't know what you think. I'm going to let you, I'll let you take it from here. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't think Dallas has a real shot coming out of the West next season. I think the Nuggets loss woke them up. I think the Timberwolves run gave them some more confidence. I don't know what Phoenix and all those other teams are going to do. Oklahoma City is going to get better as well. So it's just a lot of people that are going to have to contend. Luka beat a lot of good teams to get here, and I give him that credit. But in the end, hey, what he left us off with is you played one side of the ball and you kind of got strapped. You got to make a change.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I'm not gonna say
Okay.
I'm not going to say that they're for sure or they're favorites to get out the West next year, but I think depending on what moves other teams make and the moves that Dallas make this offseason, I think you got to give them a decent shot. Luka, he's come back better each and every year. You hope that he can come back with some more effort on defense. I'm sure that's going to be, if I'm Jason Kidd, that's obviously a huge conversation because you got to the highest level, and look, if they got back there again, like chances are you're going to be facing a team with multiple guys, and Luke is going to have to play on that end. So like for you to break through and win that championship, like this is something that he's going to have to do. So I think we'll see. It remains to be seen if he will. Some players don't, but he has a lot of responsibility on the offensive end. So we'll see. And I mean, like, look, when you talk about teams like they didn't have to go through Denver this year. I think that would have been a much harder matchup. And I think if most people would say if they met up this year in the playoffs, Denver probably would have got the better, end of that matchup. And then when you think about Minnesota, are they still going to have Rudy and Cat? Because I mean, we saw how that worked out against Kyrie and Luka. Like if the team stayed, similar, I still think that favors Dallas and just the way that they play. If they were run into OKC again, like depends on who we see. We know Josh Giddey's on his way out. That's someone that they, pretty much ignored when they were on defense. I think like the reason that they look their holes look so glaring, pause against Boston, was just that Boston has everything. And
yeah, I agree with you. I agree
five
with you
guys on the floor at any given point shooting like 36 to 40% from three. Can put the ball on the floor, can make plays. There's not a lot of teams in the West that, have a starting five stacked, with versatile guys like that. So, like I said, it just depends on the kind of moves that the West comes out with. We'll see, will Paul George even be on the Clippers next year? We'll see what kind of moves Denver makes. Obviously, Dallas needs to improve their bench, get some more knockdown shooters in there, but also make sure they don't, make their defensive, make sure their perimeter defense still, can be something of a strength for them. But I think Luka is still top 3 player, top 2 player in the league. Like he's going to put up numbers. I'm going to give him a shot.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's going to come down to the offseason. And that's my main thing. I like what you said about Boston. They were just, honestly, they just were a juggernaut. Basically what you're getting at is all playoffs, you could kind of hide Luka. Every other team kind of had a guy that was like, we're not really well, it's fine. It is what it is. But, you run up on Boston and you got 5 guys, they play 5 out. You got to worry about Al Horford knocking down the corner 3. You got to worry about Drew Holiday playing in the dunker spot and just moving around. And all 5 of those guys are interchangeable, right? Like, that's a tough cover for any team, especially one whose star player is traditionally not overly interested in just being locked in on defensive end. And it's more so because of how much he has to expel on the offensive end of the ball. So, we'll see. Last thing though, Boston, the day after the finals, they're the favorites to repeat. Jayson Tatum said, they're going to keep talking. So all we got to do is just do it again. I think Al Horford announced he's coming back. So you get another year of his sister on Twitter. I think year 18, 19, whatever for my boy Big Al. So, I mean, like we said, the offseason hasn't happened yet. That's where most of them, we're going to be able to come back on here and say, hey, we believe in this team this year. But as it stands now, do you think is there anybody that you like to dethrone the Celtics next season or that you think has a shot to maybe dethrone them? Here we are the day after the finals.
This team right here, them Philadelphia 76ers be coming, boy. I'm telling you. I'm going to say, like, I just feel it. I feel it here. I feel it here. I just feel it coursing through my veins. We getting ours next year, and I hope we get to go through Boston, Milwaukee, and New York. I want to face all three of them.
I don't know how you would play. I mean, yeah, if y'all be, y'all
we can get New York
y'all
in
do
the
the
first
7
round.
seed again. Yeah, we'll probably be 2 seed.
Y'all probably be 7, 8 seeds. So like,
we'll probably be 2. Yeah, I like where you think. I like where your head at.
Up real quick, let y'all know last year was a little fluke, and then then we get Boston or Milwaukee in the second. Hopefully, you get Boston in the conference finals. Hopefully Denver in the finals, and that'll be a great championship run for me.
All right. That's your way, 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 way too early playoff prediction from Nell. I think as it stands right now, the only team I really could say, Denver, maybe. I'm not even gonna talk about my Knicks right now. I'm gonna just let that die out for a bit.
Yeah, please.
I already said, but the full strength Knicks were 1-0 against the full strength Celtics. So just
in the playoffs,
and that's the cliff that I can leave everybody hanging on. We'll just have to see. Next year in September, October, whenever the season gets rolling. It's been a great NBA season, man. No, great to have. We got in this thing. We 45 episodes strong. We made it through the NFL season. We made it through the college football season. We made it through the NBA season. Now we got NBA draft coming up, NFL training camp coming up, the WNBA playoffs and all that's going to be rolling around soon. So we got a lot. We got a lot to continue to rock, or to continue to cover here on 2 for 2. Before I send us home, Nell, what do you have for the people today as your takeaway for the day, man?
Yeah, I just want to shout out a good friend of ours, Izzy. He gave me some advice. He told me to, if I stay away from the snow, then I won't freeze. And I just appreciate him for those words.
Hey, take that as you will, everybody. But that's going to do it for this episode of 2 for 2. That's going to do it for the NBA season. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. Coming from a Knicks fan and a Sixers fan, that's tough for us to say.
Ain't no congratulations coming from me. I ain't.
Okay. Coming from a Knicks fan, on a pod with a Sixer fan who is not going to say congratulations. I'll unfortunately have to do it for
I don't even say good game after
side.
I lose in 2K, so you ain't about to get no.
Or Madden. Remember I beat you in that?
All right, bro.
All right, my fault. I'm kidding. That's going to do it for us, man. Continue to show love. Instagram, we got the TikTok, we got Twitter, the Spreaker page, we got Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we got it everywhere. YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend, repost when you see us post on IG. Even if you're not even going to watch it, repost it. Show love. It takes 2 seconds. You repost everything else that don't make sense on your Instagram, you might as well repost me and Nell. Like, just click boom, and then somebody else going to see it. But either way, man, we appreciate all of y'all that show love, whether it's for 10 seconds, whether it's for the full 30 minutes, whether it's for a full hour, whether, you just chatting it up with us about the episode. Either way, we appreciate all of that, man. 2 for 2, we're going to keep growing. Thanks to y'all. That's going to do it. This is season 3, episode 45. All my friends hate Boston, but they won. We out.